Welcome to Rustic Roots, farmhouse style in a tiny house, where charm meets minimalism in a way that's both heartwarming and inspiring. In today's video, we'll explore the powerful marriage between rustic farmhouse aesthetics and the functional brilliance of tiny house living. Whether you're a fan of vintage vibes, reclaimed wood, or cozy country charm, this journey will take you through design ideas, layout solutions, and style tips for turning your compact home into a rustic sanctuary. Get ready to fall in love with farmhouse nostalgia all over again, only this time, it fits within just a few hundred square feet. Farmhouse style captures something deeply comforting. Perhaps it's the echo of simpler times or the warm textures of natural materials. This aesthetic is built on authenticity, weathered finishes, handcrafted pieces, and cozy furnishings. In a tiny house, where every item must earn its place, the farmhouse look adds soul and character. It doesn't need sprawling land or high ceilings to feel complete. Instead, it thrives in nooks and corners, wooden beams, and antique touches. The charm lies in its imperfections: uneven paint, knotted wood, and wrought iron fixtures that remind us of handcrafted heritage. One of the foundations of rustic design is the material palette. In our tiny farmhouse build, reclaimed wood is the star. It graces the flooring, trims, and exposed ceiling beams, telling stories of old barns and family homes. Pair that with shiplap walls painted in creamy whites or soft grays for a clean yet textured backdrop. Natural stone accents, wrought iron hinges, and aged bronze faucets can round out the materials list. These choices bring an honest, tactile experience to the home, creating a sense of warmth that artificial materials simply can't replicate. As with any home, first impressions start on the outside. A tiny farmhouse needs a welcoming facade that blends charm with function. Picture bourdan batten siding in a soft sage or classic white, paired with black framed windows and a tin roof. A small covered porch with exposed rafters and vintage lantern lighting invites guests with country warmth. Add a sliding barn door or Dutch entry door to double down on the rustic motif. Every detail, from flower boxes to outdoor lighting, contributes to a cohesive exterior that feels both timeless and tailored. Porches are quintessential to farmhouse living, and even in a tiny house, they play a pivotal role. Whether it's a two-chair nook with a bistro table or a deeper porch that wraps around one side, this transitional space connects the home to its natural surroundings. Here, rustic details shine: wooden railings, hanging plants, vintage-style sconces, and rocking chairs. It becomes an outdoor living room where morning coffee or sunset chats bring the simple joys of rural life to your everyday routine. Porches create that first hint of farmhouse comfort before even stepping inside. Step inside, and the tiny house greets you with a welcoming entry space, no larger than a few square feet, but full of character. A reclaimed wood bench, woven baskets, and iron hooks offer both style and storage. A narrow console or cubby beneath a rustic mirror adds functionality. This area helps establish the home's rustic tone right away, proving that even in the tiniest homes, entryways matter. Lighting also plays a role. An overhead lantern or Edison bulb pendant enhances the vintage feel while keeping the space bright and inviting. The living room in a rustic tiny house is all about layering textures and tones to create comfort without clutter. Start with a neutral base, light walls and simple furniture. Then add rustic elements, a weathered trunk for a coffee table, cozy wool throws, burlap or linen cushions, and vintage wall decor like farmhouse signs or old window frames. Space-saving furniture like a love seat or built-in bench seating keeps the area functional. A small wood-burning stove or faux fireplace can serve as a charming focal point, radiating warmth both literally and stylistically. The kitchen in our tiny farmhouse blends form and function seamlessly. Open shelves made of live edge would replace upper cabinets, showing off ceramic dishware and mason jars. Butcher block countertops, farmhouse sinks with apron fronts, and beadboard cabinetry evoke that classic country kitchen charm. Soft under-cabinet lighting highlights textures, while vintage hardware and antique-inspired appliances add character. Every inch counts, so consider hanging pots, sliding pantry drawers, and multi-use prep tables. Rustic kitchens celebrate simplicity, making cooking a heartfelt, even joyful, activity. Dining in a tiny home doesn't mean sacrificing style. A fold-down table or wall-mounted drop-leaf design allows flexibility. Surround it with vintage-style chairs, perhaps mismatched for an authentic look, or a built-in bench that doubles as storage. Overhead, a wrought iron or distressed wood chandelier brings elegance with a rustic edge. Soft linen napkins, enamelware, and a vase of dried flowers complete the scene. It's less about grandeur and more about intimacy, a place to savor meals and conversation in a beautifully appointed yet compact space. Storage in any tiny house is key, and in a rustic farmhouse, it's all about integrating storage solutions that look like they've been there for decades. Think vintage trunks, wire baskets, floating wood shelves, and sliding barn doors hiding shelving units. Underbed drawers, ladder shelving, and built-in cabinetry with distressed finishes all add to the theme. Every storage piece should serve a dual purpose, either as decor or as part of the home structure, so that no square inch is wasted, and every element enhances the overall rustic aesthetic. Lofts in tiny homes offer an ideal sleeping solution, especially when infused with farmhouse charm. Use wood-paneled ceilings, vintage quilts, and wall-mounted lanterns to make the space cozy and nostalgic. Keep it simple, no need for heavy furnishings. A low headboard, rustic beams, and personal touches like old books or framed black and white family photos create a bedroom that's snug yet stylish. Skylights or gabled windows can bring in natural light, preventing the loft from feeling cramped. A ladder or staircase with built-in drawers completes the look while maximizing space. For those who prefer a ground-floor bedroom, this room becomes a rustic retreat of its own. A sliding barn door creates a dramatic entrance while preserving space. Inside, choose a wrought iron bed frame, linen bedding, and reclaimed wood nightstands. Use earthy tones, taupe, cream, olive, to keep the mood calm and cozy. A small built-in closet with vintage-style doors provides storage, and soft lighting with antique touches makes it feel like an escape to the countryside, even in just 80 square feet. The bathroom in a rustic tiny home can be surprisingly luxurious. A basin sink on a repurposed vanity table, galvanized steel accents, and subway tile mixed with wood panels offer textural contrast. A frameless glass shower expands the feel, while wrought iron hooks and towel bars add to the rustic touch. Include a skylight or frosted window to bring in light, making the space airy despite its size. Even small details like mason jar soap dispensers or rope-framed mirrors add layers of charm. Lighting plays a crucial role in reinforcing the farmhouse theme. Avoid anything too sleek or modern, instead, opt for Edison bulb chandeliers, hanging lanterns, or sconces with industrial or antique finishes. Consider candle-style fixtures in the dining or living area. Use warm-toned bulbs to create that golden, cozy glow. Lighting should highlight wood grains, create soft shadows, and evoke the inviting ambience of an old countryside home. From task lighting in the kitchen to ambient light in the loft, every fixture tells part of your rustic story. Decor is the soul of farmhouse style. Scour flea markets or online vintage shops for treasures, weathered picture frames, distressed wall clocks, enamel pictures, and old signage. Incorporate textures through burlap curtains, braided rugs, or woolen throws. Hanging antique tools or old kitchen scales adds conversation pieces to your home. Plants, especially potted herbs or eucalyptus stems, bring life to the rustic setting. The key is authenticity. Each piece should feel like it has a history, even if you just picked it up last weekend. Flooring is a canvas for your entire rustic narrative. Wide plank reclaimed wood floors are ideal, offering durability and undeniable charm. If that's not an option, engineered wood or vinyl planks in warm oak or weathered gray tones can give a similar feel. Pair with braided or jute rugs for extra texture. Consider adding a floor hatch or trapdoor for hidden storage, just another way to blend form and function in true farmhouse fashion. Your feet will thank you every time they step into this textured, lived-in warmth. Modern tiny homes offer efficiencies, while farmhouse style brings soul. Marrying the two is the key. Mix rustic wood with smart tech. Think a reclaimed wood wall behind a flat-screen TV or a shiplap shelf housing your Wi-Fi router. Hide solar panel inverters inside antique-style cabinets. Use vintage hardware on sleek, custom cabinetry. This blend honors tradition while embracing the future. You don't have to choose between old and new, you can create a space that celebrates the best of both worlds. Farmhouse style thrives in open, uncluttered spaces, something that matches well with the tiny house mantra. A successful rustic tiny house layout flows smoothly, porch to living room, kitchen to loft or bedroom. Use dividers like bookcases or barn doors to delineate spaces while maintaining an open feel. Lofts can house guests or serve as extra storage, and stairs can double as display shelves. Smart planning lets you keep the rustic charm without sacrificing modern convenience or movement. Perfection isn't the goal in farmhouse design, character is. In tiny homes, this mindset is freeing. Let your wood show knots. Let the metal age. Keep that paint chipped. These imperfections aren't flaws, they're part of the story. They make your home feel real and lived in. When you stop striving for magazine perfection and instead focus on comfort, function, and authenticity, your tiny house becomes not just stylish but soulful. It's this embrace of imperfection that makes rustic homes so timeless. One of the joys of farmhouse living is changing your decor with the seasons. In a tiny home, go small but meaningful, wreaths made of dried herbs in fall, plaid throws in winter, pastel linens in spring. A rustic centerpiece on your dining table or a few mason jars filled with seasonal blooms can go a long way. Keep your seasonal changes simple and in line with your overall color palette so that nothing feels out of place. Small touches keep the house fresh and make every season feel celebrated. What makes your tiny farmhouse unique are the personal stories woven into its design. Did you use your grandfather's toolbox as a shelf? Is that stool a flea market find from your first road trip? These are the moments that make a house a home. Your space should reflect your personality, through art, textiles, collections, or DIY projects. Rustic design allows room for imperfection, creativity, and heart. In fact, the more personality you put in, the more authentic your home becomes. Outside, continue the rustic theme with simple yet meaningful landscaping. A gravel path, whiskey barrel planters, wildflowers, or a small vegetable garden can enhance the farmhouse feel. Use wooden fencing or a rock border to define your outdoor space. Even with a small plot, you can create a lush and inviting yard that complements your home. Add a hammock or an antique bench, and you've got the perfect countryside escape, no matter your zip code. For those who crave independence, a tiny rustic farmhouse can go off-grid with style. Solar panels, rainwater catchment systems, and composting toilets integrate surprisingly well with vintage aesthetics. Hide tech elements within reclaimed wood cabinets or build them into barn-style sheds. Self-sufficiency becomes an extension of the rustic ethos, a return to simpler, sustainable living. Living off-grid doesn't mean giving up comfort. It means gaining freedom, wrapped in cozy, country-inspired walls. Living in a rustic tiny home is about more than aesthetics, it's a lifestyle. It encourages you to slow down, cook from scratch, sit on the porch, and reconnect with what matters. Every detail, from the creak of your wood floor to the crackle of your fireplace, grounds you in the moment. This lifestyle is both intentional and joyful, filled with simplicity and warmth. In a world that moves fast, your tiny farmhouse becomes a haven of slow, deliberate beauty. Thank you for joining us on this heartfelt journey through Rustic Roots, farmhouse style in a tiny house. We've explored everything from porches and kitchens to lofts and lighting, each element designed to bring timeless country charm into a smart, functional space. In a tiny house, rustic farmhouse style is more than just decor, it's a way of life. It's about staying grounded in tradition while embracing the innovation of compact living. If this style speaks to you, let your home tell your story, rich in texture, full of character, and forever rooted in rustic charm.